Hey guys, today we're gonna talk about something really close to my heart, bending. Bending the strings, making something dynamic happen. And we're gonna talk about it today in a mini-series I call Guitar101. So this is the first episode called Bending. And I think we're gonna stumble upon vibrato. This is a general call to arms. We need everybody to start bending the strings. So I've been noticing a trend with newer players actually neglecting bending a little bit. I don't know if it's true, it's just my kind of perspective on it. I think a lot of new players are looking at bands like Polyphia instead of Gary Moore, you know? And this brings us to the classic discussion. So on this side we have jazz players, and in my opinion they have more thinking of scales and chords to show their emotions in their guitar playing, like a sad scale, a sad chord, sad voicing. And on the other side we have blues players, and they are more single note, look at this amazing note that's super important for me, and it could be sad, it could be very happy. Those are the two camps, but at the same time they're not fighting each other, so you don't have to choose. You can be in the middle. Like one of my favorite guitarists of all time is Eric Johnson, and he used a lot of fairy and jazz chords just to be able to show the emotions he want to play. And he also does blues and is known as a blues guy, you know? And in my head I feel like the newer generation is more moving to the jazz, the chords, the scales, the intervals, the all cool stuff like that, and they're kind of forgetting a little bit about blues. So I'm gonna show you some old classics without bends. This is really annoying. So this is like classic bend solos, where it really helps the song. But I'm also gonna show the other spectrum of like using more chords to like talk as well. But this is not solos, this is more rhythm. That's from an Eric Johnson song called Emerald Eyes. Check it out. So in this example, it was more about the dynamics and the chord choices to make it sound like you're being a little bit cautious. And that's what the lyrics in this song is about, being a little bit cautious. So all the chords he chooses is because of that. Both is beautiful, no one is better than the other. I just say that I want more bends. So let's go back to bends. So one of the reasons I make this video is that I have a friend that asked me, Robin, when do you know when you're gonna do a bend? And what notes are you gonna use when you do a bend? And the guy was fairly new at guitar, and I think that I and many others get a little bit blinded. I feel like a lot of players get kind of stuck in the beginning and don't really know where to go and too afraid to ask, because guitar players are elitist. Elitism. Wow. Is that a word? Elitism. So I thought, let's make a video. I'm just gonna show you some of my strategies of why I bend and how I bend, and we'll take it from there, okay? My friend is a piano player, so he understands the chords, he understands the scales and everything like that, and he didn't understand why you would bend, when you would bend, what kind of notes you would choose. So I basically told him that all the notes I choose is in a scale, whatever scale. It could be a pentatonic, minor, everything. And it's just that the notes need to relate to each other, otherwise it would be a weird kind of chromatic thing happening. So I'm gonna show you a pentatonic example, because that's like the first kind of scale you learn. And instead of going like up and down, that's pretty soulless, you know? You want to add some part of yourself, and bends is perfect for that, because every player has a unique bend and vibrato. Sure, two guys can be alike, but the way they play it and why they choose it to do that is very personal to them. But the strategy I have is that in this scale, I'm using the note that comes after. So in this case, it would be, and that you can do that with a bend. Hard to do on top strings, but without being way too theoretical, because I don't know theory at all. I can't say I do. I just know some kind of my own theory. So in the pentatonic you have different modes. It means same notes, you just move it up to the next step of that scale. So it's still pentatonic. This is still same key. Now we end up where we started. So if I would play that scale on one string, it would be pretty easy. And so I can bend those. So that's the way I'm thinking when I'm doing the bends, like instead of doing like I do. Just to give it some flavor, another strategy I have is that I just start below the note I want to bend to. So I know that I want to bend this one. So then I'll start below on this one. So I'm going to do same note. So I'm gonna show you the different kind of bends you can do. You can do a half step. That means you do the note next to it. Then we have a full step bend. That brings me to the third kind of bend, where you do the in-between bend. The notes that isn't on the fret, isn't on a piano, nothing. It's in between. It's like classic example of this one is Tornado Souls by Megadeth and Marty Friedman's solo, where he does bends can be really good for you to practice your ears and what is the right pitch. So here is two examples that even you intermediate guys out there, our professional whatever, can do as well. And it's marking the note you're gonna go to and then bend to it. So it's gonna be, say, minor. Kind of like that. Very useful to get the right pitch in your bends. And the last example is the dreaded from out of nowhere bend. That has to be the right pitch. This guitar is in D standard, so let's do a D chord. And I'm gonna do a D, I'm gonna mute it, and I'm gonna take the root note, that's a D, and I'm gonna bend up to it. And see how it goes. This can go really bad. And it's gonna be millions of times where you say, oh, I missed my note. And that's just the practice. That's the biggest practice of all. I was doing the Another Day solo from Dream Theater that I had on my YouTube channel, and I had a really hard time playing that A in the beginning. Because I was overbending or underbending that. But that's the fun, man. If you get bad bends, who cares? This is just the practice that you gotta do to make, when you have that superstar moment and you're gonna go in for a big bend, you got it, man. And it's gonna bring so much more life into your playing and soul as well, because you're putting yourself in that bend. Only you can decide where it goes. You need to listen to more Guitar101. If you don't like Guitar101, wow. So guys, that's all from me today. Hope you guys thought it was informative. Informative? Sounds like a transformer. Informative. If you have any questions or if you think I look amazing without my glasses with my contact lenses, write that below. Maybe press like, subscribe. That would make me super happy. And again, thank you guys for watching. See ya!